Hello, guys. It is Zaylee. I'm doing something that I usually don't do. I'm live in the morning. I'm actually doing my makeup and I want to talk a bit about pressure, but I also want to make sure that I'm live on IG as well. I know, y'all, I look crazy, but in a good way. So I am just going to get myself ready for creating content today. I have a bunch of things to get done, and I thought I would just come live and hang out with you guys and just talk to you about what's on my mind lately. I was having a really good conversation with one of my clients, and hopefully you can hear me well. There's a bit of banging in my background because they are building a house next door, which is part of my pressure right now. Because yeah, it sounds crazy. But when I say it's a part of my pressure as a coach and as someone who is online and, creating, and I work from home and this is kind of my oasis and there's a lot going on next door, it kind of makes me feel like, oh, should we move? And so we've been processing that. We've been wanting to live overseas. We're just exploring all of the options right now. But that kind of pressure, it allows for me to decide, okay, this doesn't feel good and I want to make a shift. Now, I could have said even, now, like, I'm not going to go live because they're banging outside, but I don't care. And I want to just invite that energy for you too, for anything that you've been processing or feeling uncomfortable about. I want you to acknowledge it and decide, I don't care. Hey, Kiva, how are you? So that's the vibe we're on. That's the mood we're on. I feel like that's the season I'm in right now. My goals, I have to accomplish them. I know what I want to accomplish. I know how I want to live. I know the things that I want to do. And so it's about asking myself in this season, like, do I care about the things that I know I shouldn't be caring about? Right. But let's talk about pressure for a bit because there's a lot of pressure around us right now. And if you're on YouTube, say hey. I'm also streaming live to Instagram. I'm doing a multi-stream because why not? I'm going to be walking and moving around because I just realized I don't have the pot that I want to use for my eyebrows. I don't even know if you guys can see that. Anyway, so pressure. Let's talk about 5 steps to relieving that pressure that some of us are feeling right now. And of course, this is a live stream. So if I am all over the place, bear with me, like I said. So I was speaking to a client the other day, and she is experiencing a lot of pressure in her business, right? And when we think about pressure, hey Jay, when we think about that pressure or things that we are experiencing and it feels so uncomfortable, it feels so abnormal, it feels like you're entering a whole different stratosphere or realm, or it feels like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if uh, I could make it to the other side of this, or I don't even know if I could survive what I'm going through, feeling this pressure. And whenever you are feeling pressure, I just want to shift your mindset for a quick minute. Whenever you're feeling pressure, it's because there's a shift coming for you. And if you don't feel that pressure, nothing else is going to allow for you to change and grow, right? Pressure helps us to realize things that we are currently going through. If you are feeling pressure in your life right now, if you're feeling, disappointed about something, down about something, depressed, whatever it is, pressure happens so that you can make a shift. And if there is no pressure, you cannot evolve or change. Unfortunately, this is how things go. Some people are naturally motivated and they can just shift or change or grow, and that's fine. That happens for some people. But for others, it just does not happen like that. And a bit of pressure, yes, it's an uncomfortable thing, but it is the thing that is going to allow for you to step into your next realm or, into your next era or whatever it feels like or looks like for you, right? So a lot of us have an idea of the next season in our lives or the way that our business would look if things completely change or just our business. Like, what can our business look like if it evolved or grew or scaled? Or what could it look like to host like coaching programs or to um, just run your own business or leave your 9 to 5 or get to the other side. A lot of us are thinking about those things, but we're not making the movements that are going to allow for that to really happen. Are y'all feeling me? It's kind of like we trick ourselves. And so I want you to think about that. How comfortable have you been that pressure is now a part of your process? And that's literally what it is. I want to remind you that whatever season you're in is temporary. It's not forever. So the pressure that you're feeling, don't think about your whole life like, this is the end or this is how it's going to be for sure, or I will always be failing, or this business is going to fail, or these are the things I hear from my clients all the time. And I want to remind you that you're experiencing pressure because there's a shift coming or a change coming. Um, Kiva said, especially for ADHD, most of my moves require that. Yes, that is so true. I can't tell you, like, my assistant will make a list of things for me to do, Kiva, and if it ain't due soon, girl, I'm not even paying attention to it. And that's horrible because she is very type A and she like likes things done in advance. And the way my brain works is like, I am feeling the pressure on this. So sometimes she has to trick me, to be honest. But yeah, so pressure is much needed. It's something that is needed for you to decide it is time to shift, or it is time to grow, or it is time to make a move, right? Sometimes we're on a weight loss journey and we aren't doing the things that is required to lose that weight, and then you get a diagnosis or something happens and you're like, oh man, like, well, damn, I wish this didn't happen, but this is the thing that is going to activate me or move me into my next season, or um, so that pressure is the thing that does that, right? Hey, Shakima. Hey, y'all. So the pressure is the thing that is going to do that for you, right? And so even though the pressure feels difficult in the moment, or you feel like giving up in the moment, or you feel like not being here in the moment, it is a chance to like evaluate the comfort level that you had been experiencing and ask yourself, what needs to change here? What needs to be done differently? Like, how can I shift or change? Like, even for me, I'm in a community building season. I love building community, right? And so for me, what that means is that it requires for me to go live some more. I could have also told myself, okay, you know what? Like, maybe I'll wait until I do my makeup and then I can go live, especially on YouTube because people be trolling on YouTube, right? But I'm like, no, let's do this together so that by the time I'm done here, I can just jump into my content, creation bag and just start creating, right? So I put the pressure on myself of a goal. Like, y'all, I need to, like, what's good? Like, I need to uh you know connect with people. I want to connect with more people that are already in the community. I want to get to know about more people who are in the community. Every time I go live, I get to learn a new name. I get to connect with someone. I get to see someone who says, girl, I've been watching you for so many years and I didn't know, that you do XYZ or that you talk about XYZ. Like, and I think that that is so important. So I put the pressure on myself of creating growth goals. Like, okay, so I want to grow or connect with at least 3 people, 3 solid, quality, amazing people in my community a week. And so that, in order for that to happen, I know what I have to do. Or y'all know I love my walking pad, right? So so I'm trying to tell you, like, what pressure are you putting on yourself, right? So the first thing we have to do is think about where we are right now and think about the where we would like to be. And so, of course, the second thing is thinking about your goals. That pressure. What is this pressure encouraging me to do, or what is this pressure encouraging me to shift or change, right? What needs to change about my environment? I just told you guys that they're building a house next door. And so now that's putting pressure on my work schedule in my studio, and it's putting the pressure of, well, maybe it's time for a shift. Maybe you guys need to move and find a new state or find a new country, or something needs to shift, right? And I'm feeling that pressure of like, okay, a shift needs to happen. And I'm feeling, of course, I'm listening to God for that direction, but it's pressure. So going back to my walking pad, with my walking pad, I had put the pressure of losing a few pounds on myself because, listen, in the past 5 years, y'all, my body has changed, and being on camera with my bodily changes, hoocha, it's been a lot. So I started working on shifting my body back to a way that I'm comfortable and that I, know it. But sometimes I'm so busy that I really can't. I just have a lot going on, especially with running a business, right? So if I'm front facing, or I'm creating programs, or I'm coaching in my membership, or I'm creating YouTube videos, short form content, I'm writing emails, I'm doing a lot in my business. And so sometimes that does not, like, I don't have the time for an aggressive workout, but it doesn't mean that I can't get on my walking pad and walk. And I lost so much weight doing that. So I want to just remind you, like, create the goals. If you're feeling pressure, create the goals. For me, one point of pressure was, my husband and I started filming videos together, and they were more for him, right? And then I realized that in my videos, I can say, "Oh, I don't like that angle of myself. Like, delete that, please." Like for my videos. But when it came to his videos, and this was a while ago, right? When it came to his videos, like, now I can't tell the man, I don't like that. I don't like how I look in that. Could you delete that part? Especially if he found that it was valuable, or if he found that, hey, Anthony, or if he found that, there was a part, y'all, are my eyebrows even? Kinda. Anyway, especially if he found that there was a part of the video that, he liked or he enjoyed. And so there was now a new pressure for me to get on my Zoom, right? And do what I said I was going to do, because now I'm in his videos. And so I don't want to stop his workflow because of my thoughts about how I looked on camera. So I just want to remind you guys, like, there will always be pressure for you. There will be pressure to do different things in your life. There will be pressure to make a shift or a change. And I want you to ask yourself, even if you're watching this or you're watching the replay, like, what pressure are you feeling right now? Like, what's the pressure that you're currently feeling in the moment? And it could be anything, y'all. It could be the pressure of um, making more money in your business. It could be the pressure of weight loss, like I was just telling you I was processing or going through. And so once I created that goal, I was like, all right, I'm going to hop on this walking pad. I'm going to hop on this walking pad every day, right? And I'm going to get at least 7,000 steps in, whether that means that I do it in intervals, whether that means that so this is what I did to trick myself. So our home right now is three floors, right? And so I moved the walking pad and put it into my bedroom. It was by my desk, right? I put it into my bedroom because there are times where I don't come up to the studio. So it was in the studio. And I was like, okay, I need to put this by my bed so that as soon as I, jump off the bed, I'm gonna get a few steps in to just get a jump start going, right? And so that's something that I had to decide I was gonna do. And so I moved it, and I told myself, because I was gonna buy a big, beautiful treadmill, haha. And then I told myself, you have a walking pad. You don't need a treadmill right now. Prove to yourself that you can use this walking pad every day. And then, maybe you can get a treadmill. Maybe you can spend a lot of money on one. But if you can't prove to yourself that you could use what you have, then you can't get anything else. And so I started using the walking pad, and I stopped and I started and I stopped and I never gave up. And so now I use it every single day. Now I've earned my treadmill, right? At least that's what I think. So, like, think about the goal that you have and think about, reaching that goal. I want you guys to really start thinking about that. So, like I said, my pressure was I didn't want to tell him anymore, hey, I don't like how I look in your videos. In my videos, I can change it or, update or edit it out. But or I can maybe like voice over a piece or something. But in your videos, I don't like how I look. That's wrong of me. That's like selfish. So I was like, okay, now my goal is to change how I feel, regardless of who is like recording or taking a picture of me. And what is that going to do? It's just going to open up more opportunities for me, right? Y'all, the light is changing in the studio, so I'm about to like change the light a bit in my settings. It's like 10 a.m. here. Anyway, so that pressure allowed for me to think, okay, so it's a different season in life for me, and there are things I don't want to worry about anymore. And I need to relieve that pressure by creating a goal and doing what I need to do from it. Yes, Shakima, that lesson can be used in so many areas. And that's why I wanted to come on and share, because I feel like a lot of us are going through pressure in different ways, right? So even for my client, her pressure that she was going through is that she felt like, she's just struggling with really attracting the right people and connecting with the right people in her business. And I had to ask her, like, how, like, what are you focused on when it comes to content? Are you only posting trends? Because then that would be a problem. Then people can find you from trends, but then there's no level of education or authority based on anything else that you have in your content, right? Or I had to ask her, like, how are you building trust? Like, what does that look like? So these are things that I want you guys to think about, when it comes to that discomfort that you might feel sometimes. Yeah. I was like, I had to come on and share that. So I hope this connected with someone in some way. Even if you are on YouTube, hey y'all, on YouTube. I'm currently streaming to YouTube and Instagram at the same time. But I just want to remind y'all, like, that it is possible. It is possible for pressure to actually be a good thing and move you into another season. Anyone here has like anything that they feel a little bit of pressure around that they want to share? Or you can ask me anything, like even if it's like based on content or whatever it is. And then sometimes I need to come on live and talk things out. And I actually teach this in one of my mini courses, where when I come on live and I teach and I talk, I take the live stream and I transcribe it. And so I'm able to pull out things that I may not have spoken about or shared. And so I teach you that full process. I use AI in the process, but it helps me capture my authentic voice. So if you are struggling with your authentic voice on social media, that is a great way to do that. And I have some live topics. If you're wondering, like, Zaylee, like, what can pull out that authenticity, or like, I don't know what to talk about, just comment topics, and my automation will send you the full list of over 100 live topics. um Norman, that's a really good one. Norman says, I don't want to just be another talking head. Let's talk about it. So let me ask you, Norman, like, what are you creating right now? Like, what content are you creating right now in this moment? Hey, Carla. You're good. If you don't get your list, DM me and let me know. But you should get your list in the DMs. Anybody else, just comment the word topics and you'll get the full list. It's over 100 topics. It works for any industry, and I promise you, you will have so many amazing content ideas from that list. Norman, what are you creating right now? Here's what I find with people who um, are stuck in the space of, I don't want to be just another talking head. I would say, and I get it, trust me. One thing that I would tell you is, first of all, you got to get used to sharing your message and telling stories, right? Y'all know I talk about storytelling all the time. And I'll tell you why. Just hold up, I'll tell you why. So you got to get used to that. Build your muscle with your talking head, or even consider live streaming as if it's a part of your process. That can be your talking head. But the other thing that I want to remind you about is that as long as you get good with like speaking and sharing, and the more we talk, the more our ideas flow. It's like the more we talk, the more creativity God gives to us. But we sometimes are so stuck that we're not talking or sharing as much. And when I say talk, I don't mean like to other people, like do it in the medium that you desire. So the more I talk like this, the more God gives me fresh new ideas, whether it be through something that I'm thinking about, whether it be through something that someone asks me. Like, get used to talking and sharing. When you get used to that, you can then begin to hold up a camera. You could use your phone, right? You could use your phone and you can start walking and talking and sharing. You could start putting a voiceover on B-roll. You can start experimenting with different things. I think a, a lot of us try to get into the other realm of B-roll or walking and talking or just being out and about and creating vlogs too quickly. And so we end up getting burnt out. I would say aim for a medium, like, aim for a little balance and then ease yourself in, because it's sometimes easy to stop if that doesn't feel normal to you. The other thing I want to remind you is that practice makes perfect, right? So remember to pace yourself. If you do want to make vlogs or other videos that are less talking head, um, try making one a week or one a month and then practice your skill. Remember that you might spend 2 hours creating that kind of video, and then as you move on, you'll spend less time. So pace yourself and give yourself the grace to keep going, right? Mad Titan Radio, hello, good idea. I do a radio show and I will do live when I have a guest, but kind of struggle when it's me by myself. I get that. I get that. Let me tell you what, because I go live all the time and I interview people as well. And so the thing for me, both require preparation. So the same way that you are thinking about like, okay, if I'm going live, I have to prepare questions for the person I'm interviewing or talking to or chatting. You still have to have show notes or a show flow, or it's the same thing when you're by yourself, right? It's the thought of, okay, so I'm by myself. What am I going to speak about? What can I talk about for 2 to 3 minutes while social media, gets people in the room so that they can, listen to what I'm saying? What can I prepare to connect about so that what are juicy questions that I can ask, or what is a perspective that I can bring? What is a story that I can tell so that I can talk to myself for a little bit until people come into the room? What are steps that I can have mapped out? If you want a list of topics for free, y'all, it's literally free. The topics, the list of topics, just comment the word topics in the comments and I will send you the link so that you get that. It has 100 plus topics for any industry for live streams. You can use it for content too because it's so good, it's so rich. And I've been told I should not give it away for free, but if you comment the word topics here, you'll get it to your DMs. Carla, I hope you got yours. Let me know if you did. Um, yeah. Let me see. Hey, Ola. Hey, Kemi. Hey, y'all. Hey, Ambitious Ray. I love that name. Yeah, and you know what? When you're live by yourself, it's really about calming your nerves, right? Like, first of all, I think that there's a disconnect when we think about going live by ourselves. We think we're either gonna have 100 people there and it's gonna be fire and popping, or we're gonna have no people there. What side are you on? Are you the 100 people side? Like, I'm gonna have 100 people there. Or are you the like, nobody's gonna show up live if I go live? Let me know. I want to know in the comments. And I'm gonna still keep y'all with me while I go get stuff. Let me know in the comments. What are you? Are you the type of person that thinks like nobody's gonna be here, or 100 people is gonna be here? And for me, I had to learn. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be back on camera in a little bit. I had to learn, but I have a wireless microphone on, so I'm still you guys are still able to hear me. For me, I feel like there's a good way to ground yourself a bit and remind yourself that, you know, the more you go live, the more you'll build an audience that knows that you are going live, right? So that's something that I want you guys to remember. So Shakima said 0. Shakima, you're in the like, girl, nobody's gonna show up. And I get it, right? That's definitely a feeling that you can have. Like, Zaylee, ain't nobody gonna show up. So if you feel like that and you know that you're building your live muscle, have something prepared. Make sure you have a little script prepared. Make sure that you have just a little something prepared so that people can actually look at something that you posted after. So I want you to think about your replay value. I still have times where I go live and there's nobody. The other thing is, don't stop how you think, don't let how you think about yourself now stop you from showing up and learning and practicing and getting better at speaking. The more you go live, the better your thoughts will start organizing themselves. It's just like the gym, right? The more you get used to it, the more you will be able to like get on seamlessly and chill and sit back. When I first used to go live, I was like a robot. And now I understand the value of going live so much. I understand that if I say something, or if something is wrong, or if I make a mistake, or if something falls, or it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm still able to get on and connect. And whatever happens on live, like whatever mistake I make, or whatever catastrophe happens live, or whether I say something, that's an opportunity for me to learn and grow. And I'm not going to let the way that I feel about live streams right now dictate everything for me. So I want you guys to think about that, right? um, Let me see. Also, let's talk about another thing, right? I have a few people here that are watching. Some people are watching on YouTube. Hey, y'all, hey. And some people are watching on Instagram, right? And what I want to share about that is, sometimes as you're talking, like I'm asking y'all questions. Some people are driving, some people are watching actively, some people are doing things while they're listening to what I'm saying. And so for me, one thing that I have to remember is that I might ask a question and I might not get any responses, which is fine. The way that I deal with that is, if I ask a question and no one is responding, I'll give you my answer. That does two things. That kind of inspires people to like, okay, so she's sharing her thing. I get what she's asking with this question by the story that she's sharing or the answer that she's giving. That makes me feel like, oh, I should share XYZ, right? Or now I get it, I want to share XYZ. Or what it does is it gives me, as the live host, a bridge, right? Not every time you ask a question, someone is going to answer. So you have to, as the live host, fill that space or that spot, right? Also, give yourself time to breathe. Like, I could stop talking for a second. Nobody's going to log off. And if they log off, they're not supposed to be here. But the other beautiful thing is, second reason for asking questions, somebody who's watching the replay is going to answer that question. That happens to me all the time. It happens to me on YouTube and on Instagram. So I think live gives us the opportunity to show up authentically as ourselves. Excuse me, it's less calculated. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. Hey, Lydia. Hey, Tanya. Ola said, I'm now getting more comfortable with the thought that folks won't be on. Really, Ola, let me tell you, I love that you shared that, because that's literally what it is. I think a lot of us, and y'all, sometimes it's that rejection, that inner rejection. And when I say that, I mean that, like, damn, I went live and nobody showed up. Like, that hurts. It's kind of like if you have a big event or something and nobody shows up to the event. That doesn't feel good. So we kind of internalize that. And then we decide, well, you know what? I'm not going live anymore, because I don't like that discomfort. I don't like the pressure of people seeing that I was live and no one attended or no one was there. So that feels shameful. I don't like that pressure. So I'm not going to push through and keep doing it. And one day when I'm live, hundreds of people will tune in. A lot of people aren't ready for that type of pressure. Or we tell ourselves, like, you know what, like, I don't want to go live because I don't like that nobody shows up. And, you're not able to collect your natural thoughts, or, see yourself in your, or just build that skill or that muscle. And that's really what it is, y'all. But I think a lot of us do think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go live and I don't like the feeling of no one being on, and that just feels uncomfortable to me. And so I'm not gonna do it or show up. Or we feel like, I'm gonna go live and I know a lot of people. This happens to bigger creators, because so I work with different types of people. I work with smaller creators and I work with bigger creators. And so sometimes bigger creators will go live, or they will, let's say they have a huge audience, right? Y'all, I'll be right back. I'm still talking. Let's say they have a huge audience, they have a large audience, and what happens is they feel like when they go live, hundreds of people should tune in, or thousands of people should tune in, right? And when those hundreds of people don't tune in, they never want to go live again because it feels embarrassing, or it feels shameful, or they felt like, oh, I thought more people would come on live with me, right? And they don't think about the replay value of the live, or the fact that if they keep doing it, they can actually do what they desire to accomplish. Right? So there's also that. And so I want you guys to remember that there is shame on both sides of the process, but it's also up to you, telling yourself, this is not shameful. I am not ashamed. I am going to push through. I am going to believe in myself. I'm going to do this thing. Ola said, yes, now I love live streaming, even when it's just me, Gruel, and the Osmo Pocket 3 hanging out. And the Osmo is like a little person, right, Ola? I love that. I need to remember to talk to the replay viewers. I teach about this in my live streaming course as well. A lot of people don't think about that. They don't talk to to the replay viewers. And so if you realize, whenever I'm live, I'm always feeding that in. So that's something that is so valuable, because y'all, and even I will tell y'all something. Every time I do a live stream, Instagram also pushes out that information, right? So Instagram also pushes out the live content to new people. And so I get people following from my live streams. Also, live puts you at the top of that little circle. People who haven't seen you in a while, they're tempted. They're like, oh, I want to see what she's talking about on live. And they'll click on. Shakima said, I used to feel that way. However, now I'm seeing how I can leverage the opportunity later, i.e., repurpose that content. Let me tell you something. I was live on Tuesday and I was talking about like new cameras that I bought and all that jazz. So I was speaking about the Insta360 Go Ultra and the Osmo Pocket and the Insta360 Go. Y'all know I love cameras. Okay. I will spend all my money on cameras. But the thing about it is, like, I did a live stream. We repurposed that live stream. It's now getting views from people I don't even know, but it's because of the topic. So the other thing, and I teach this in my membership too, I have a GPT, and maybe I will release that GPT publicly. I don't know, y'all. I got to think about it. I have a GPT and I created it because the way that my brain works, I be having to reel my brain in all the time, because my brain doesn't think in the way that I should be thinking when it comes to content. Meaning, I'll have an idea and I have to understand how to package that idea. And so, because my brain is sporadic, I had to create a support system in the form of a GPT. And I built it because my members in my membership were also struggling with this. And so it takes the idea that you have and it flips it into something searchable that you can share, like on YouTube or social media, that people will actually understand and see. And then your messaging is coming in naturally. So I put the topic, I always like to put my topics inside of that GPT so that it could tell me what people are searching for based on what I want to talk about. Whew. I hope you understand what I'm saying. And so I did that, and then I got the topic for YouTube, and I knew what I wanted to talk about. But like Shakima is saying, what happened is, like when I was done going live, I changed the title of the video. I added descriptions, I added tags. We put a fresh new thumbnail on there, and now it's actually garnering people that want to know a little bit more about the topic as well. So for me, that's like so good. Now I use Ecamm Live to stream. So on Instagram, my streams don't look that great. On YouTube, well, I don't know. Y'all tell me. But from what I see, I'm like, Lord, no. But on YouTube, the quality of my stream is a lot better. So the cool thing is that on YouTube, I'm able to, let's say, put it into Opus Clip or put it into CapCut and get that chopped up into different clips. And I always feel like my clips, when it comes from a live stream, because of the energy of like talking to y'all and chatting and kikiing like we do when we're on live and learning as well, you get the most authentic version of me. So when I chop those up into like content, it comes out so good versus when I chop up pre-recorded. I'm saying chop up. What I really mean is like if I turn that into short form, I have a different energy when I'm live. So the repurpose value of a live stream is so good because you're getting more of like, you know, me naturally or how I talk or whatever it is, you know? But yeah, y'all. I want you guys to remember that there's so much repurposed value in a live stream that it's kind of crazy. Y'all, I've been wearing earplugs lately and they are so helpful. I've been wearing the Loop earplugs and it's just helpful because sometimes when I'm live or creating content, I get distracted because I can hear my outside environment. And so, you know, I get distracted. I have ADHD, y'all. But yes, so that is the thing. But Shakima, that repurpose value, and Shakima, you have that full live stream course. That repurpose value in there, especially even for carousels, y'all. I create bomb carousels from my live streams because I'm able to extract what I taught in my way with my own stories, my own words, my own thoughts, and I'm able to then plug that in. And so that in itself is such a blessing. I keep checking my microphone because I don't want it to die because I've been on here for a little while and I'm testing to see how long these microphones last. And I know that I've been on here for a little bit. But y'all, before we leave, let us read a camera confidence card together. Okay. You know what I need to do? I need to go on my Ecamm and create like a little scene or layout. Anyone in here uses Ecamm Live too? Because I love me some Ecamm Live. I'm able to multi-stream, so I'm able to put this stream up on YouTube. I'm able to put this stream up on Instagram as well. And I can stream to like LinkedIn, Facebook. I feel like I want to start streaming on Facebook again. Yeah, I feel like that is something that I do want to do. And I was telling the Ecamm team, like, y'all need TikTok. If I could stream to TikTok from Ecamm, listen, I would be so happy. Okay, let's see. This one is good, y'all. This one says, even with my insecurities, my bravery being visible and vocal on camera showcases my strength and commitment to my life's purpose. Isn't that so good? Let me read that again. Even with my insecurities, my bravery in being visible and vocal on camera showcases my strength and commitment to my life's purpose. I tell you guys all the time that for me, my gift or goal in life completely is to inspire other women to get more visible, get more confident on camera, learn how to use a camera because there's so much money out there for us. And a lot of us aren't taking advantage of that. Okay. Y'all know how I feel about stories and storytelling. It's a little blown out, y'all. I got to figure out like, okay. Okay, this one, I'll read it for you. It says, I embrace my unique story, It's what sets me apart and what others gravitate towards. Y'all know I teach this and I talk about this all the time. I connect deeply with my audience, speaking directly to their needs, y'all. Ooh, I've been needing these reminders even as I'm creating because it ain't easy. Okay, here's another one. Let me make sure that I am in focus. This one says, I make money every time I get on camera. Money and opportunities flow to me effortlessly. Embrace that. Okay. If you don't have your camera confidence cards, you can comment the word cards and I'll send you the link to purchase your order. We package and ship them personally. So, okay. Y'all, can y'all believe I did my makeup on live stream with y'all? Okay. Let me find another one. Let me find another color. I feel like I put all of the same colors together. And I want to show you guys different colors. This one is so good. This one says, I'm always thinking in abundance when it comes to my creativity. I'm always thinking in abundance when it comes to my creativity. That one is so good. This one, did I speak about this today? About having everything you need? This one is so good. I have everything I need to create and connect with my dream audience today. Whew. I have everything I need to create and connect with my dream audience today. I release my tendency to overthink. I am committed to showing up and cultivating a dedicated following, right? These are the cards that changed my business because I used to write these on post-it notes. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with post-it notes. And so I love me a good post-it note, y'all. I have cards falling everywhere. Um, I love me a good post-it note. All right, y'all. I'm gonna read one more card. I'm looking for one more, and then we're about to get off. I am coaching my members in my membership this evening, so I'm about to prepare for that. Um, what else? I'm about to create some content. I have a bunch of content to create today. Oh, this one is really good. Okay. This one says, let me see if I can see. Okay. With every video I publish, I open new doors to financial opportunities, attracting clients and partnerships that elevate my earnings. Whew, that was a good one to end with. Y'all, if you are experiencing some pressure right now, it's just that a shift is coming for you. And I want to make sure that I share that. I felt it on my heart to share that today. So I'm so glad that I came onto the live stream. If you were here, I appreciate you, friend, so much. I don't take it for granted that people take time out of their day to just hang around and spend time with me. If you are watching the replay, say hello. Let me know what stood out to you most about anything that I shared on this live stream. I would love to know. I want to thank you guys too for hanging out and doing my little light makeup with me. I don't even wear a lot of makeup anymore, y'all, because I am like, girl, ain't nobody got time. Um, so I just put a little cute little beat on. um, so thank you for hanging out with me to do that. And then I'm gonna go get started, get my day started because I have a lot, like I said, going on. I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out. I love you guys. And like I said, if you're watching the replay, hey, heartily happy on YouTube. Always thinking in abundance. Yes. Y'all, I appreciate you so much. If you were here, anytime I put on this glasses, she starts talking to me and I'm like, sister, we're live. I can't talk to you right now. Anyway, y'all, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here, for watching, for hanging out. I don't take that for granted. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Enjoy your day. Feel the pressure, sit in it, and decide what you want to do next. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you soon. Take care.